اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. And today, inshallah, we're starting a new chapter, which is chapter number 20. Chapter number 20 is called Taha, and that's basically the first verse of this chapter. Start with Taha, and this is which we call it the separate letters. Basically a lot, there's no really explanation for those, but the majority of the scholars say that this is basically God is challenging the people to bring from the same letters you use a Quran or Quran like this one, which is basically nobody can come to a Quran like that. Number two, also the word Taha in some languages, some of the languages, is mean my dear, my beloved. So that's another thing. So that's also some of the scholars said it can mean that my beloved or my dear. So we have to understand that the Quran is all related. So this chapter, the previous chapter, is called Maryam, is basically talking to who? Talking to Christians, talking to people who made Isa alayhi salam, made Jesus as God. Worshiping Isa or worshiping his mother Mary, making them God, so on and so forth. And God is warning them about a very, very severe punishment in the hereafter. And we mentioned the reasons for all of that, why, so on and so forth. Then God here is turning to Musa. In this chapter, we're talking about Moses, the story of Moses. Who's Moses? Moses was the prophet who was sent to the Israelites, the one who delivered the Israelites from Egypt. So what is God is really the story in this chapter, the story of Moses, and also the story of Adam in this chapter. So what is really God is telling us? God is telling us that the spelling is the same God. Basically, God is saying, I am the same God, the God of Jesus. I am the same God of Moses, who we will mention the story in this coming ayat. And I'm the God too. He's talking initially in the first few ayat, he's talking to Muhammad alayhi salam, Muhammad, peace be upon him. So he's saying, I'm also the God of Muhammad. So it's the same God who's sending all these prophets as in a, we can say in a relay race to deliver this message. Each prophet come with the same message with Islam, because all of these prophets had the message of Islam, to surrender to God. Basically, this is what it is: to worship God alone, to basically abide with the God, with the God obligations, abide with God orders, so on and so forth. So God here is talking, and we're going to bring Moses' story, which Moses, by the way, Moses or Musa is the most widely mentioned prophet by name. Of course, Prophet Muhammad, all the orders coming to him, so on and so forth. But Prophet Musa is almost tremendously. Some, I think, I think around 136 times it was mentioned in the Quran, around there, if I'm not mistaken. But it's mentioned so many times. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that the whole message is the same. Since Judaism, Christianity, Islam, the message is the same, but people in the Judaism and the Christianity, they added, and even also in Islam, some of the sects, they added things which God have never asked people to add. So they're changing the message of God. So the second ayah, ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. He said, we did not bring down the Quran to be a hardship for you. What that mean? What that mean? Because once we got the Quran, oh Prophet Muhammad, oh, people are fighting you. Once you got the Quran, you trying to make sure that people understand it. You're trying to make sure that people believe in it. That you're trying to make sure that people become truthful in their following of the religion of Allah, which is the Quran, or of the deen of Allah, which is Islam, and the book of Allah, which is the Quran. So, and also people who say, oh, we have brought when the Quran came down, the Prophet and his followers, they had to pray. So the non-Muslims, they say, oh, there's also another hardship for them. They have to pray, they have to wake up at night, they have to make prayers, so on and so forth. So God is saying, we did not bring down the Quran or Prophet Muhammad for you to have any kind of hardship. إلا تذكرة. Indeed, this Quran, this message of Islam, this message of the Quran is only a reminder. But reminder to who? A reminder لمن يخشى. Reminder to those who have fear. Those who are worried. Those who don't want to be in the hellfire. What that means, the word khashya in Arabic is different than the word fear a little bit. But khashya means you have knowledge, and from that knowledge, you know that you're not going to be able to challenge it. From that knowledge, you get the fear. For example, you see, you have a knowledge about an entity, say whatever the entity is, so you know that this entity have all kind of resources. You know that this entity can fight. You know that this entity has so on and so forth. So you are you have the knowledge of what they have. Okay, so then you're gonna have to back out. You have to back out because because this entity is way stronger than you. So the khashya here means you have knowledge of what the other party has. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of those who will know who is Allah. And this is what in the next ayat, Allah will identify himself again. But those who will know, will have the knowledge, who is Allah, his capability, his abilities, and his ability to put people in hell, his ability to torture people, his ability to send messages from coronavirus, from volcanoes, from earthquakes, from hurricanes, from tornadoes, so on and so forth. All these messages, you know that he can destroy cities. He knows they will be humble. They will be humble. They will surrender to the Lord. They will believe in this book of the Quran and will become Muslims and they follow the religion of God. Simple as it is. تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى. This is a revelation coming down from the creator of the earth and the heavens. So this is God, like we said, he's going to start. Why you have to fear me? That is what God is saying. Why you have to fear me? Look at the knowledge. Look at he's presenting here the abilities. He is the one who why you have to believe in the Quran? Why you have to make the Quran is your constitution? He's bringing here the criteria. Number one, he is the creator of this Quran is coming from the creator of the earth and the heavens. So you have earth and heavens created by him, and he bringing the Quran. So that might be this majestic being. He has a lot of power. Ar-Rahman ala al-Arsh istawa. Indeed, the Rahman, the creator, the merciful, the compassionate, have established himself on the throne. له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وما بينهما وما تحت الثرى. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep identifying. He's given us the knowledge why we have to follow the Quran which came, and why we have to follow the guidance of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam which he came with, because it's coming from the creator who has everything in his hand, who can control everything. وما بينهما له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وما بينهما وما تحت الثرى. Indeed, he controls, he owns the heavens, the earth, and whatever in between. وما تحت الثرى. Indeed, whatever even under the rubble or under the dust or under the or underneath. What does that mean? That means that God, he owns the whole universe. He created the whole universe. He created even the earth. He created whatever in between. You can say what birds are flying. You can say whatever, even the ability for that atmosphere to happen with oxygen, with all these kind of blend of gases. Also, the light can penetrate and to come to you. All this has to be medium. That medium is made by Allah. That's number one. So then he also owns whoever dies, he goes under the ground. Okay, he owns that. Means what? He's going to resurrect him. He's going to bring him back. He's going to bring him again for accountability and judgment. So he owns everything. So don't try to challenge him, basically. وَإِن تَجْهَرْ, and then he's going down to what? So he made the case that he owns everything. Then he's going to the human being. Because as we said before, the Quran is a book of guidance. So he has to go down to your heart and see what is your heart. So he said, وَإِن تَجْهَرْ بِالْقَوْلِ فَإِنَّهُ يَعْلَمُ السِّرَّ وَأَخْفَى. Indeed, he knows what's inside your heart. If you're going to talk in secret or you're going to talk in public, or everything he knows, even what's in your heart. Then he's saying, he's put here a very summary, comprehensive statement about himself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa. The Christian said what? Jesus is Son of God, or Jesus is God. Allah said no. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah, the creator of the heaven and on the earth, he is only one God, worthy of worshipping. له الأسماء الحسنى. Indeed, he has all the attributes, all the perfect attributes, all the infinite attributes, all the attributes which he can control, which is unlimited and very perfect. They're 100% accurate. 100% he can do whatever he wants. That is why he is worthy of worshipping. له الأسماء الحسنى. Indeed, he has the perfect names. And the perfect attributes belong to him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he made his case here in that he is the one who revealed the Quran, O Prophet of Muhammad, so you can warn, so you can tell the people that this is the message of Islam, this is the message of the Quran, and this is the final testament which everybody has to believe in him. In order for him, he does. So in order for the person doesn't get tortured, in order for that person to have a successful and beautiful and a purposefully, like he has a purpose behind his life, following this Quran. That is what God is saying in a nutshell. And he said, whoever believes, whoever doesn't believe, you don't have to worry. The rest of is on me. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is identifying himself and he said, He's the creator of the heaven and earth. He's the creator